and 1 minute for the opposing person. We're ready for our first question.
The first question goes to Sheriff Klein. And this question is, how will you improve the standards and training of your deputies and other employees of the Miles County Sheriff Department?
We've already implemented that program. What we've done is taken everyone, all the employees of the county jail, as well as the employees with the Lowndes County Sheriff's Department, and implemented at least a 40-hour training period with our training division.
Mr. Yates, same question.
There's been a 40-hour standard with the Sheriff's Office for several years for each employee at the office. They were required to go through that 40-hour mandatory training plus firearms for several years. I believe that we need to increase that. I believe we need to put some more specialized training in place for the deputies and all the members at the Sheriff's Office, especially in the areas of domestic violence. I don't believe we're getting enough training for that.
This question is also for the sheriff candidates. How will you tell us what you can do to improve the conditions of the county jails, particularly jail deaths and suicides?
We have just finished the new portion of the jail, housing about 520 inmates. Of course, the older part of the jail is supposed to be reconstructed, and there's already money earmarked for that. There's major problems in the older jail, and of course that's got to be completed. We are expecting an increase in our inmate population in this next year, and of course we've got to make steps to have that effect.
As a member of the command staff at the Sheriff's Office, my staff and I designed a new jail that has just been opened a couple of years ago. That jail was designed so that we could utilize it to move inmates out of the older parts of the jail and use the more up-to-date, personnel-friendly side of the jail for the inmates. Our intention under the former administration was to use the old part of the jail for only those minimum security and work release inmates and inmate detail inmates that were coming and going and weren't having to stay in there 24 hours a day. The conditions of the old jail are in bad shape, and it does need to be done away with and not utilized for inmates. It becomes a budgetary problem as far as increasing the size of the jail anymore, but you know, there's 1,200 beds in there now and about 800 inmates, so pretty much all of them can go to the new jail.
Thank you. Mr. Cunningham, this next question is for you. Can you explain the main differences between you and your opposing candidate, Ms. Amy Carter?
Well, most of the differences between Amy and first of all, our loyalty. She has shown right off the bat that she can't be trusted and has not been loyal to the citizens of Lowndes County, the folks that elected her. That's our biggest difference. Our other difference is the fact that she has forgotten and she has not put her emphasis on our most vital resources, which are our children. Ms. Carter has voted for House Bill 1162, the Charter School Amendment, which would take away power from local schools, or local school boards, and give it to the state. Now, the state of Georgia has already said that was not legal, and they just banned that commission. But if this amendment was put on for one reason only, because there were powers that did not get their way, and it was strictly for money-grubbing, for-profit charter corporations that would further take money away from our Department of Education. And the other differences that we have is the fact that She is not articulating the values that we have in South Georgia. She voted for House Bill 87, which was the immigration bill. And I have no problem, I do not believe in anything that's illegal, but I believe that that bill, before it was passed, it should have been a moratorium. We should have sat down with farmers, we should have sat down with communities, we should have made sure that we did something that was going to be, something that wasn't going to be so chaotic and hurt our farmers so drastically. I believe that any person who says they're going to represent a group of people or a segment of society should do just that. And the only way you can do that is communicate with the people that you represent. You can't get too big for yourself. That's what I believe she did. And that's our differences.
This question is also for Mr. What programs do you have in mind to implement that your opponent has not to further job growth in Lowndes, Brooks, and Thomas County?
Well, first of all, you need to speak to the people you represent. There has not been any engagement between Lowndes, Brooks, and Thomasville. As a matter of fact, and I can't blame this all on my opponent, because she only represented Lowndes County the last 6 years. But there has not been any dialogue between Lowndes and Brooks other than through our authorities. When in Atlanta, there seemed to be no communication amongst our representatives. And until we start doing that, we're never going to fix this problem. First of all, we've known for the past 20 years that Brooks County has lost jobs. They've lost Ithaca, they lost the meatpacking plant, they lost Doors and Trim, and they lost Microcraft. None of our legislatures, besides Ms. Carter, has done anything to ensure that those jobs come back to that area. When we lose jobs in Brooks County, we lose those folks that would normally shop at Walmart, shop at our malls, shop at and buy things in Lowndes County, and for that matter, Thomas County. It also, when they lose jobs, Lowndes County lose jobs, because again, we shared some of those jobs. So the first thing I would do, the first thing would be to come up with a commission between Lowndes, Brooks, and Thomasville, citizens, not just the industrial authorities, but get a panel of citizens, and let's talk and let's start promoting South Georgia. Georgia is last in the United States for promoting tourism, and second to last in promoting industrial authority improvements.
All right, this question is for Ms. Lawrence. If elected, how do you plan to be proactive in reducing the dropout rates in our local school system?
I think we need to work with, to reduce dropout rates, I think we need to work with the education system, the education board, school boards, local school boards, to find ways to engage students, to make them more active in the school. I don't know if it may need to be more programs that keep them after school, help them study. I think it goes back to that passion for learning. If they're not interested in their studies, then they won't want to study and they're just going to drop out.
This question is for the commission chairman candidates and the super district candidates. If SPLOST passed, the city will receive $72 million. Does any candidate know of any project designated for the south, east, or north sides of our neighborhoods?
I would suspect that a lot of that money that's going to go to that area is really going to be affecting on your roads and your infrastructure. The infrastructure right now in the city of Valdosta is in great need of repair. They're working hard with that as far as funds are allowed. They've got the island areas that they're trying to bring into the, bring those all up to date and get the water and the sewers to those areas. So you're going to see a lot of improvements in these areas where this infrastructure needs to go. And of course, mostly those are all city council roads as much as anything other than county issues.
The SPLOST money is divided up into a pie chart, and the pie chart says a certain amount of it is going to go to be buildings, a certain part of it is going to go to be roads, a certain part of it is going to be parks and recreation, and the exact projects that those are going to be are to be determined. So in fact, the city council and the county commission get to vote on the disbursement of those monies as it gets collected and goes along with the years. So they have an idea of what those projects will be, but the actual determination of them, as far as I know, is not until this BLOS is approved, and then the projects are voted on by the governing authority.
I just want to say everything that she said was true. The fact of the matter is, it's general language within the SPLOST referendum. It will be more along the lines of the commissioners in regards to the county and the city council in regards to the city of Valdosta and in which way the funds go. I can tell you as a commissioner, my goal would be to improve a lot of those desolate areas in the southern part and all throughout Super District 4. I prioritize a lot different than everybody. I'm going to be honest with you all. There's some things I like about the SPLOST, but then there's some things I'm not necessarily as crazy about. But I do understand the language, and it allows for the commissioners to be able to scale back projects. Also, to prioritize in a different way. I think it is time for us to start listing specifics on SPLOST referendums. I am a proponent of that. I see other counties do it because you don't have to try to sell something, because people know what they actually get.